History of religion in Africa. Today we will be delving into the story of how religion arrived in West Africa and the devastating impact it had on the region. From forced conversions to the use of religion to justify slavery, the legacy of religious oppression in Africa is a heartbreaking one. Join us as we uncover the painful truths of Africa's past and strive to understand the impact of these events on the present day. Who brought religion to Africa? The history of religion in Africa is a complex and fascinating story, filled with tales of conquest, trade, and cultural exchange. For thousands of years, indigenous African religions flourished on the continent, with different societies developing unique beliefs and practices that were closely tied to their cultural identities. However, the arrival of outside influences such as Christianity and Islam had a profound impact on the religious landscape of Africa. European colonizers and missionaries brought Christianity to Africa in the 15th and 16th centuries, often with the aim of converting African peoples to their own faith. Islam, on the other hand, arrived through the Arab traders and conquests, and spread rapidly across the continent through trade networks and religious conversion. How did Christianity spread to West Africa? The spread of Christianity in West Africa was influenced by a combination of factors, including colonialism, missionary activities, and social and economic change. The Portuguese were the first European power to establish a foothold in West Africa in the 15th century. They established trading posts along the coast and used their presence to spread Christianity through the region. However, their efforts were limited and focused primarily on the coastal regions. It was not until the arrival of other European powers, such as the British and the French, in the 18th and 19th centuries, that Christianity began to spread more widely throughout West Africa. Colonialism played a significant role in the spread of Christianity in West Africa. European colonial powers such as Britain, France, and Portugal brought Christianity to the region as part of their efforts to control and exploit African resources. Many colonial officials saw Christianity as a means of civilizing the local population and eradicating what they saw as primitive religious practices. Missionary activities also played a crucial role in the spread of Christianity in West Africa. European and American missionaries established churches, schools, and medical clinics throughout the region and used these institutions as a means of spreading the Christian message. They also translated the Bible into local languages, making it more accessible to the local population. Social and economic change also played a role in the spread of Christianity in West Africa. As traditional social structures began to break down under the pressures of colonialism and globalization, many West Africans began to look for new sources of meaning and identity. Christianity offered a way for people to connect with a wider global community and to gain access to education and economic opportunities. Despite the many challenges and controversies that accompanied the spread of Christianity in West Africa, it has become one of the major religions of the region, particularly in countries such as Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon. Today, Christianity continues to shape the religious and cultural landscape of West Africa, and its influence can be seen in everything from music and art to politics and social movements. The spread of Christianity in West Africa was not without its dark side, and the legacy of its arrival in the region is still felt today. While it is true that Christianity brought education, healthcare, and social services to the region, its impact was not always positive, and it often came at a great cost to the indigenous cultures and religions of West Africa. One of the most significant impacts of Christianity's arrival in West Africa was the destruction of indigenous religious practices and beliefs. Many of the traditional religions of West Africa were based on animistic beliefs and practices, and these were often considered to be incompatible with Christianity. As a result, Christian missionaries often actively sought to suppress these traditions, leading to the loss of a great deal of cultural heritage. In addition to the destruction of indigenous religious practices, the spread of Christianity in West Africa also led to the forced conversion of many local populations.
Are you hearing
missionaries?
Did you hear it? Let me repeat it. Forceful conversion, force by force.
Africa also led to the forced conversion of many local populations. Missionaries and colonial officials often used violence and coercion to compel people to convert to Christianity, and those who refused were often subjected to persecution and violence.
Did you hear it? I don't think you hear it. Let me face you while you are listening to it. On Dutcher, we should be very grateful to some of them. You see, the ordinary Europeans, they are good people.
Missionaries and colonial officials often used violence and coercion to compel people to convert to Christianity, and those who refused were often subjected to persecution and violence. The impact of these forced conversions was devastating, as it led to the loss of many indigenous languages, customs, and traditions. It also created deep divisions within West African societies, as those who converted to Christianity often saw themselves as superior to those who did not.
Correct. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Those that converted themselves to Christianity, to Christians rather, see themselves superior on other ones that rejected it. The same thing what is going on now. We are not Christians. Biafran movement has nothing to do with Christianity. We have Christians inside it. Yes, there's a freedom of worship, which all of us agree on. But we are struggling to restore our land, so that our land will give them condition to play. We will now tell them, if we tell them, go on the ground and build their church, they will go. They will not tell us, why are you telling us this thing? This is the will of God. No. The will of Biafran people said, and the will of our Chukwu Kabiama say, carry down your church, go inside the forest, you go and build it. They must do it. They force us and they kill us.
Traditions. It also created deep divisions within West African societies, as those who converted to Christianity often saw themselves as superior to those who did not. Today, Christianity is one of the major religions of West Africa,
I agree.
and it continues to play an important role in the region's religious and cultural landscape. However, the legacy of its arrival in the region is still felt, and many West Africans continue to struggle with the loss of their cultural heritage,
Loss of their cultural heritage. Yes.
and the ongoing impact of religious conflicts and tensions.
Now, like I said, I believe